Wanted to do a quick update. It's been a few days of being in the hospital and just kind of give you the quick heads up. So, the primary issue was having bilateral multilobular pneumonia. And so, apparently, the pneumonia was pretty severe. And so, a lot of my lung capacity um, was taken. So, I was essentially kind of drowning. Um, so that was originally the main issue, is trying to find out what was going on with the breathing and feeling like I was drowning. And so addressing the pneumonia has been the primary effort. So tons and tons and tons of antibiotics, and trying to get fluids off of me so that I can start to breathe and kind of be back to normal somewhat. So the pneumonia is, I think, more or less controlled right now at this point, and I've been feeling a lot better. So as I sit, I feel incredible. Um, when I start to move around a little bit, I start to get a little bit more tired, and having that, the decreased lung capacity, it starts to kind of affect me. But by and large, feel a lot better than I did, and so that's good. So I think we have the pneumonia well controlled. Um, then kind of through all the additional testing, just to kind of be more thorough, they did a echocardiogram on my heart and realized that I was having decreased heart capacity. So when your heart pumps, it should pump something between like half to maybe a little bit more than half of your blood volume. Hello.
Hello. I would just like to come and do some housekeeping for you,
Oh,
okay?
sure.
My name is Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hello.
Okay, thank you.
Good to see you.
So when the heart pumps, should be able to clear off about half of the blood volume in your body. Well, mine was only pumping off about 25 to 30%, so quite literally half of what it should have been. So that is not good. So that's what we were, looking to address, is figuring out
See.
what was happening. So typically, when your heart isn't pumping the way that it should, there is maybe a blockage. So an ischemic, myopathy, meaning there's a blockage. In my case, they don't think that there's necessarily a blockage, meaning like plaque buildup in the valves and arteries and things. What they think happened is um, a non-ischemic cardiomyopathy caused by a virus. So I don't know which virus. I know I saw in some of the chats, people were talking about, the virus and things like that. And, I've been tested probably dozens of times for the Rona, and every time turned up negative. So I don't know if if it has played a fact at some point in time. Um, but at some point, a virus got in me and played hell on my heart, and has helped me kind of diminish my heart capacity. The prognosis is pretty good. So the permanent thing was getting the pneumonia cleared up and getting a lot of that fluid and water off of me, which we've done a pretty good job of. And then the next big thing is kind of checking out the heart. So I'm going to have a catheter done to my heart on the right and left side, to check for blockages, and then to check for flow and function, just so that we can kind of see where things are at. Talking with the cardiologist and stuff, everything looks pretty good on the backside of doing the catheter. I should be able to get released within the next day or two, and then the cardiologist is pretty adamant that, with some treatment and drugs and things like that, we can start to return heart function back to more normal, and actually normal. So there should be a pretty good chance of return to normal function at some point in time. I don't know how long that'll take. It could be an order of, weeks, or it could be an order of like months. So I'm just gonna have to play the game and see how it goes. But I think that's really the long and short of it. More to let you guys know kind of what's happening, what the deal is, and kind of why things are the way they are. Not a whole lot has happened over the weekend, so it's really been just a lot of sitting around and hanging out. Thanks, Jared. Um, a lot of it's just been a lot of sitting around, hanging out, eating some of the hospital food, and just trying to get those meds to take place, the Lasix to try to get some of the fluid off of me. So lots of going to the bathroom and lots of just sitting around and waiting. Lots of chest X-rays, lots of blood work. Just trying to monitor all my values to ensure everything's working the way that it should be working. So I think everything's trending in the right direction, and pretty excited about that. And aside from that, I think it's more or less most of what's going on, unless you guys have some specific questions that I can address right quick with those of you that are here. Um, all things being equal, in pretty good spirits. Like, it's been a pretty easy deal. Been comfortable the whole time, um, and just trying to make the most of the situation and try to be as positive as I can. Um, I know there's a lot going on, and a lot of people have expressed concern and things like that. So I do appreciate all the concern and well wishes and kind thoughts and all that stuff. So I wanted to come with a follow up. On the backside of this, I don't know how much more there'll be to say, aside from what's going on, Matt. Um, I don't know how much more there'll be to say. I know that they're going to do the catheter to take a look at the heart, and provided that looks okay. Really, the main thing then is kind of moving me into an outpatient program and doing a lot with like meds, getting a lot of medicines in me to try to get the heart function back to normal and get things moving the way that they need to move. And like I said, that the doc from the cardiology clinic feels pretty solid that we can get things going the way they need to go. Thanks, Viking. Appreciate that, man. And then Scott, thanks, man. Appreciate it, dude. Um, yeah, so it should be good. I think the long term prognosis is good. Um, so I feel like what's going on, Leaf? I feel like the long term prognosis is good, and I feel like the chance to kind of be like normal is pretty good too. See what you got there, Jonathan. Um, yeah, thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, not feeling too down. Feeling pretty good about stuff. I'm pretty happy with the level of care that I've received. I'm real happy with how I've responded to the treatments. The pneumonia thing was a real big kick. Um, and truthfully, I think the pneumonia, I've had pneumonia for well since about August, and it's just been this slow onset of getting worse and worse and worse. I think that I was misdiagnosed at the end of August, early September, when I came into the hospital once to get checked out, and then it just got worse from there. So um, getting that under control and getting that behind me is a real big thing. And I think too, the additional strain of having the pneumonia, right? Like, you just imagine like you being partially underwater, for months. Like, that's an incredible strain on the heart. That's an incredible strain on the pulmonary system. So it's pretty crazy, man. Um, oh, leave asking why I'm in the hospital. Um, because my heart wasn't working. Because I had pneumonia and I was drowning. And then we did some more tests and found out my heart was only functioning at about 50% capacity. Um, so anyway, so with getting the pneumonia under control is a really huge step into like being able to kind of chunk down on the other issues and get things through. So I feel like I'm being kind of repetitive at this point. Um, um, I just wanted to give an update because I know that like, I got a lot of friends and family and other folks that'll, look to this to kind of get the update. It's easy for me to do like one push here, vice like 30 different phone calls and whatever else. I've been trying to avoid being on the phone too much. Um, cool. Thanks, Sig. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, so I've been trying to avoid being on the phone too much, and I've really spent just a lot of time just sleeping and just kind of hanging out and being like just super chill. Because I think that's what I need right now, just staying calm, keeping my heart rate low. They asked me to, so for the first time in probably like a few months, I was able to lay back completely flat. and breathe, because before with the pneumonia, it would increase the pressure and I would have a hard time breathing. So for months now, sleeping on my back or being laid flat would be like disastrous for me. So I'm able to lay flat now, and here in a little bit, I'm gonna go for a walk around the floor and just do a couple of laps to try to see how, cardiovascularly how I'm doing, because like I said, the breathing up to this point has been horrendous, but with all the treatments now, my I'm doing a lot better. Um, wow, yeah, Lee, we gotta get that checked out. Let me tell you for sure, like if you feel like something's wrong, especially like when it comes to like breathing and like don't play with it, man. Like yeah, I rested on it for way too long, and was thinking it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. I'm only 39. It'll be fine, no big deal. And then come to find out, I've been drowning, like literally drowning on my own, like on my own body fluids, and then fucking my heart would drop down to half the capacity of what it should be. Quite literally, quite literally, cardiac failure. My heart was giving up, and like I don't know how much longer I could have sustained like being alive. Um, that's like super true. That's the docs were like, I don't I don't know how you've been able to compensate so well with how poor a function that your heart's been operating at. Um, Most people would have been in far worse shape, in terms of like their how they presented and everything else. So I guess for that I'm lucky for being as strong as I am. I guess I don't know. But it was also kind of a curse because it masked it, and I was able to just kind of continue to push through it and continue to avoid addressing what needed to be addressed. Bo, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Um, yeah, it's yeah. For Lee's comment about this being a nightmare, like yeah, I mean this is absolutely a nightmare situation. I mean, I don't think anybody in their right mind ever hopes to go through something like this. Um, I'm just grateful that I'm in a position where I can receive the care. Um, because I think the only thing worse than going through this and experiencing what I'm experiencing would be to be aware that of the problem and like not be able to fix it or not have the means to address it, right? To like to know, I'm dying, and not be able to have the health care and be able to do the so that I think that would be the only thing that'd be worse than what I'm actually going through. I'm super fortunate. I'm super fortunate to have the availability, the care, and the support network, and that stuff. So I'm super grateful. So it's hard for me to be too pissy about exactly what it is I'm going through. Um, I just have to figure out kind of one step at a time the next couple of tests, and the next couple of tests will kind of dictate the next couple of months, and then I can kind of set a plan, and then kind of do left foot, right foot, and figure out what I need to do, to continue to get myself better. Because again, having spoken to that cardiologist, I feel pretty positive that with the right medications and with the right approach, I can return as closely to normal or what my normal is, as possible. Um, so yeah, that's way more than I had planned. I planned to cut it off about 10 minutes ago, but just kind of chatting back and forth with some of you guys. If any of you have more specific questions, you can always feel free to hit me up and write me. I am going to have a little bit of a difficulty kind of getting back to you, most specifically for the next few days, and then hope to kind of get back to a normal, or some sense of normal, be able to respond and address everybody's individual comments and thank everybody for leaving the messages and the kind words and the well wishes. And so I will get to all of you individually and respond, to say thank you for the time and attention. And then I'll continue to update with things as they come. And this might be a whole new wave of training videos, you know post cardiac failure, powerlifting and what that looks like. It's probably not going to be all that exciting. It'll be like 5-pound dumbbells and such. Balling. But I think no matter what, I will try to find a way to continue to do what it is that I enjoy doing and try to help out as many of you guys as I can with what I'm doing. So as long as you guys are still interested, we'll keep it rolling. But thank you guys so much for everything. I appreciate you very much. Everything's fine. I'm doing okay. I expect everything will be fine. I'll know more after tomorrow, and we'll. Thanks, Matt. I'll know more after tomorrow in terms of kind of more of the outcome, and just kind of lay it on one step at a time. So, thanks, guys, for supporting me with everything that you do. I appreciate it very much. And remember, no matter what it is you think you can't do, overcome nearly dying, you got to get injured despite, right? Yeah. Thanks, Bo. Thanks, Hal. Yep. Let's see. What was that comment from? Sorry. 50% of 810. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Hey, thanks, DD. Good to see you, man. Um, Man, it's like jumping on live occasionally. You get to see it's like seeing old friends, man. A lot of you guys have been with the channel for a really long time, and I super appreciate that. Like, I've come to get to know a lot of you, and come to recognize the avatars and seeing your comments. So I appreciate it. Um, Gary Goodman. I'm sure you can kind of rewind and check it out, but everything's good, man. I just want to give a quick update and let everyone know that I'm trending in the right direction. Um, Pneumonia's clearing up, so that's the big thing. Pneumonia sucks, by the way, and not a fan of it. So if you ever have the chance to avoid pneumonia, I highly recommend that you just go ahead and hard pass on that shit because that's for the birds. Um, what's up, Thomas? Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. What's up, Nat? Coming in here with your Puerto Ricanness. Um, yeah. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna get my shoes on. I'm gonna go for a walk around the quad and see how my heart and lungs fare from a little jaunt around the neighborhood here. Grump Rican in the chat. That's true. Um, yeah, illness does suck here. It's true. Pneumonia. Yeah, well, we're already kicking the pneumonia's ass. You should see the amount of meds that they put me on, man. Like, it's been it's been crazy. It's like bags and bags and bags of IV antibiotics. It's crazy. Streak in the quad. That's right. Um, yeah, they've had me on just a ton of antibiotics, and then blood thinners and a bunch of other stuff. So been more meds than you could shake a stick at, I think. But I think it's working. So again, just super super lucky to be in a position where I can get the care. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it, man. Well, I think I've said it. What's going on, Ron? You got a choice. You can either be positive or you can be negative. I try to be as positive as I can most of the time. Although I'd be lying to you if I told you that the negativity didn't creep its way in from time to time because it absolutely does. But try to be as positive as possible about all of it and keep your chin up and all that stuff. Plus, I got some good friends and I got some good people around me um, and take good care of me. So thanks, Ronan, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. No, leave. Don't be negative. Gotta find a way to be positive. So negativity is toxic. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it, man. I'll do the best I can. I'm anxious. I don't know yet. I'll have to have more conversations with the docs about what I can do as far as training. Because I know the docs had told me. Yeah, it's true. I was squatting over 600 pounds with pneumonia. I did the 810. I did the 8-10 2 days before I went into the hospital to get checked out, um, which is probably dumb. But I'll have to talk to the docs and find out like what what kind of activity I'll be able to have, right? Like at least from before the docs were saying, hey, you're going to be um, on a pretty strict um, whatever. Charlie, what's going on? Thank you very much. Um, but he said I was gonna be on a pretty restrictive profile, meaning like not allowed to do much, right? So for the army perspective, not being able to do PT, not being able to do, probably any airborne operations, like most of the things that I should be able to do in the army, won't be able to do. I'm gonna be in a really restrictive profile that, for all intent and purpose, won't let me do anything again. Yeah, they may not let me have salt. I love salt. But the profile may be fairly restrictive. For me, I wonder what that actually looks like then, because it's like what can't I do? Like, I'm not allowed to walk upstairs. I'm not allowed to, right? Like, there needs to be like, I'm gonna need some pretty defined parameters, because I don't know if any of you would be aware of this, but I am kind of a habitual line stepper. So if there's a line, I'm gonna find it, and I'm probably gonna cross it. And so I need to know realistically. And then, like with a lot of this stuff, when you have a case like this, you're oftentimes dealing with somebody who's maybe much older than I am and has much less capacity. So then there's this aversion to risk, and this propensity to be like, hyper careful with, okay, well, we got to be very careful about what we say you can or can't do. It's like, so I want to be careful, and I want to do the things that I should do for my benefit, my recovery. But at the same time, I don't want to be a sissy about it, right? Like, I'm not an 80-year-old man. I should be able to sustain, some level of activity. I should be able to sustain, whatever. So like, I absolutely intend to take myself to the bleeding edge of whatever it is that I'm allowed to do, and continue to do that, because I don't know. I think just like kicking back in a chair like this for the next however many months is an unsustainable model. So I fully intend on pushing the envelope as much as I possibly can, because uh, I've worked very hard to get where I am, and I don't want to lose everything that I've built, just because some doctor wants to be overly cautious and tell me that I can't do anything. So that's that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm hoping. Thought that was a line dancing reference. No, DD, I don't line dance. I'm uh I'm a 300-pound male. The most dancing I do is I lean against a wall and hold it up. Um, yeah, I don't know. So you're talking about soy with phytoestrogens. Yeah, so you guys are having some sidebar conversation in there. There's definitely um, there's definitely a lot of interesting things about health and about wellness and about diet and about nutrition that all kind of play an effect. The human system is a pretty dynamic thing, and there's a lot that affects it. I think there is some research that indicates soy does have a negative effect on testosterone, but I don't know. I'm not really worried about all of it at the moment. I do love soy sauce. Soy sauce is so delicious. All right, soy, soy bleachy, soy punch. I don't know. You're losing me here. Beer. I don't know. We'll find out about beer. Might have to get that low sodium stuff. Um, yeah, I miss beer. I want a beer like so bad. Beer is so delicious. Yeah, I don't. It's not like I take soy. I don't supplement with soy protein or anything like that. I just happen to really like soy sauce, and occasionally I like edamame, but that's about it. Yeah. It's fun. It's actually kind of half entertaining sitting here watching, the four or five of you guys going back and forth on the chat. Yeah. So okay. kind of dragging this on way longer than I had intended. But it's just kind of cool to have you guys here and be able to chat. So I am going to kill this. Thank you guys for the support and for showing up and for checking in and seeing kind of where I'm up to. You feel free to kind of check in with me as you want. I will get back to you as much as I possibly can. Just please understand over the next probably few days, I'm going to be a little indisposed. I will try to get back to. Oh yeah, thanks, thanks Viking. I appreciate the cheersing of the beer for me tonight. And but yeah, I'll try to get back to getting some videos and things together to kind of get back to regular posting at some point in time. But like I said, more than anything, just want to make sure that you guys get the update, kind of know what's going on. And like I said, if, feel free to reach out to me. I will try to be as responsive as I can be. And just as always, guys, thanks for that continued support. I really do appreciate it. All right, guys. Yeah, that's it. I'm not going to do the normal sign off. I'll just say thank you. We'll talk to you guys soon. See you.